What is going on, everyone? It is Brandon Dawson, and say his name and he will appear. Viral sensation Joe Hendry, talk of the wrestling world right now, is making his indie debut here in Augusta, and of course, it's got to be at Viral Pro Wrestling. And here to talk about their big event coming up, Infection 8, I got the owner, the boss, Josh Hancock right here, and one half of the Viral Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
What's up, dude?
Sean Legacy. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Doing great, man. How about you?
I'm feeling great.
I can tell that you're feeling great.
Oh, yeah, dude.
All right, so guys, big event coming up here. Tell me, when is it? Where is it? Talk to me about it.
Our next event is August 10th in Augusta, Georgia at the Warren Road Community Center. Doors will open at 6:30, bell time 7 o'clock, and we're going to have 8 big matches in store for the fans that night.
And so tell me, man, this is a big deal for you guys. This is, Infection 8. And, you got Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry, again, big all over social media right now. And, everybody's talking about it. So, how does that make you feel, Josh, how did you do this? Talk to me about how all this came to be.
Man, it took a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of communications back and forth, emails, phone calls, but I made it happen.
I could tell.
And luckily, he's doing TNA. He's also got a deal he's doing with WWE right now. Mm-hmm. So you see him on NXT every Tuesday night. Mm-hmm. You also see him on TNA every Thursday night. Mm-hmm. He's the talk of the town. He has 18 million views when he debuted on NXT. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's the most viral man in professional wrestling, and what other place to be than Viral Pro Wrestling?
Exactly. Now, Sean, talk to me about these shows. So for people who have not ever been to a Viral Pro Wrestling show before, what can people expect to see when they come out here?
Expect a lot of action, and also entertaining. That's what it is, entertainment, and that's what you're gonna get. Every match is gonna be different. You're gonna love something about the match, you're gonna hate something about the match. It's gonna be the talk of the town. And I love that Joe Hendry's coming because it shows that Viral is growing, and Viral is going to continue to grow, and I'm excited for what the future holds.
Love it. Now, gentlemen, anytime I bring someone on here, I like to get a little bit into their backstory. So we're going to talk to each of you guys about that. And let's actually start off with you, Sean. Let's talk a little bit about, how did you get into wrestling? What brought you to this point? Talk to me about what was your journey and how long you've been doing all this.
Oh man, right now almost at 7 years of doing this.
Yeah.
But I was a fan. I was a fan. That's all it started with, and just going to a school in Columbia, getting trained, and then once I got the thumbs up, man, I did my dues. And I traveled, worked hard, and I'm here, and I love the journey so far.
And you're all over the place yourself, my friend. I see you on social media. You've been traveling the world, heading all over. So, how do you feel that, you started this dream, watching it as a fan, and now here you are, you're getting to do this, kind of working your dream job?
Yeah, there's some days that it feels surreal, especially when I went to Japan, because that was my goal. Mm-hmm. My goal was to go to Japan, and when there was a tryout, and I did it, and out of 40 people, I got picked. Oh man, that was amazing. That was a great feeling. And a couple weeks ago, made my debut in Canada.
Nice.
And in a couple months, I'll be making my debut in another country. So.
Oh wow! So we'll keep up with the man on social media, y'all. If you're trying to find out about that stuff. Now, Josh, let's talk about Viral Pro Wrestling. How did you start this? How long has it been going on for? And talk to me about how it feels. That you have this thing going on, and it's a success right now. You got all these people. You guys got big shows. Talk to me about it.
Well, I'm like Sean. I started out as a fan. I grew up watching wrestling all my life with my grandparents, NWA, WWF, WCW. Always been a big wrestling fan. Then I grew up, got married, had kids of my own. Mm-hmm. They got into wrestling.
Yeah.
They loved wrestling. We went to all the wrestling shows. There was a local show in Grove I used to have, and I actually got on being a security guard there.
Yeah.
So I did security for them for a couple of years, and then eventually they had to close their doors. But I wanted to keep the tradition going into CSRA. Mm-hmm. So I created Viral Pro Wrestling. And I brought some of their fan base over to Thompson, Georgia, is where we originally started.
Yes.
We've been running there on and off for 8 years now. We've done some shows here in Augusta. Most of our shows were done in Thompson, but for the time being, we're going to be here in Augusta.
And so talk to me about that, from the time that you've moved from Thompson to Augusta, how have you guys been received? What's the Augusta crowd been like?
I think we've been received very well. The Augusta crowd, we've got a lot of new fans, a lot of new faces. Every show I go to, I see new faces, new fans. The crowds are growing. Like you said, our shows are getting bigger and better. We're bringing in bigger talent. We have Sean Legacy, one of the biggest talents on the indies right now that you'll soon see on NXT. I can guarantee it.
The man's fantastic. If you have not seen Sean Legacy, so a little bit of a backstory, guys. I actually used to film for Josh back in the day when I was a young man. So I've had a chance to see Sean up close and personal, and man, incredible stuff. If you have not seen it, you're in for a treat.
That's right.
So let's talk about some of these matches that are going to be going on at Infection 8. I heard that you recently made an announcement about who Joe Hendry is going up against too. So let's talk about that and talk about some of the other things that people may see at this show.
Right. We just made the announcement. Joe Hendry will be facing one of the best wrestlers in the South, a former two-time VPW Tag Team Champion, and he's all over the place. Georgia, Carolina, North Carolina, Florida. I mean, none other than Billy Brash.
Wow. That is going to be a good one. So very exciting about that. So if people are trying to come out to this show, if they're trying to, get tickets, where do they go? What do they do?
We have our tickets up on ticketbud.com. You can go to vpw.ticketbud.com. You can order tickets online there as well as at the door the night of the event.
Very nice. And so I gotta know what does Sean have in store for this show? Do we got any idea what's going on with that? What Sean's going to be doing with the
defending
tag
this title, baby? Cody and I, the Buff and Fluff connection,
Love.
facing Jackson and Lev. I'm excited. It's going to be great. Cody and Lev, they've wrestled before, but I've never wrestled either of them, so I'm excited. Cody's excited.
I can bet. And again, so you guys, you and Cody Fluffman, you guys have known each other for quite some time, right?
Ever since high school.
Man, so
ever since high school, that's how we started being friends. The love of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Then it started out as a joke. We'd be like, hey man, that'd be funny if you and I did a tag team and we called ourselves the Buff and Fluff Connection. Well, look at that.
So what do people say when they see you, when your friends see you from back in the day, and they see you now and you're doing exactly what you said you were going to be doing? What do they say about that?
A lot of them lie and they go, man, I knew you were going to do it since day one, when they were the ones that made fun of Cody and I.
Yeah.
It is what it is, but I think it's hilarious. But that's usually what I get is, man, I knew you were going to do it. And I was like, come on, dude. You didn't believe in me.
Yeah. Well, look, I always knew that there was going to be big things for you guys. I always knew that Viral Pro Wrestling was going to get up to the amount, and this getting, again, I cannot speak to how impressive it is that you have Joe Hendry coming in for this show. So the fact that that's going on just shows the level of what this Infection 8 is going to be. Is there anything that you guys want to say, and I'll let you each go one by one, anything you want to say to people to get them to come out to this show when it happens?
If you've never been to a Viral Pro Wrestling show, I would recommend coming. Like Sean said, it's the most entertaining thing you're going to see in the Southeast. We are the premier entertainment choice of the Southeast, and this show is not only going to have Joe Hendry, the most viral pro man in wrestling, but we have stars from TNA, NWA, and we have WCW star Lodi that's going to be there.
Wow.
Sean's opponents are coming from the NWA, Jackson and Lev, the kids, which were featured in the recent Crockett Cup tournament they just had.
Nice.
So that's going to be a test for him and Fluff, but I'm sure they can pull it off.
Yeah, we got it. It's going to be easy.
I love the confidence. I love the confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Sean, anything you want to say to get people to come out to this thing?
Not just with Viral, but if you haven't seen pro wrestling itself, then I definitely encourage you to come, especially if you're in the Augusta, Evans area. Because you're not going to see anything like it. You're really not. And even if you don't know any of the big names, I promise you're going to leave that building entertained, and you're going to have at least one moment from a match that you're going to be like, man, I can't believe dude did that, and that was amazing. So that's the goal, is to get non-wrestling fans turned into wrestling fans. That's my goal, at least.
Love it, love it. Well, I'm sure that is definitely going to happen. Gentlemen, I want to thank you guys again for coming out. People are trying to follow each one of you guys. Where do they go? Social media stuff.
Social media, we have Viral Pro Wrestling, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Just type in Viral Pro Wrestling and follow us.
Love it. John?
Instagram, Sean, SEAN _Legacy1.
Love it. Well, gentlemen, again, thank you both very much
Thank you.
for coming out here.
Thank you.
We're going to have all the details for you guys on our website on WJBF.com. This is Brandon Dawson, WJBF News Channel 6.